You settle for a safe life, and now you can't hear the call anymore. That's the tragedy. Not that you failed, not that you fell, but that you built a fortress out of what felt good and locked yourself inside. Comfort became your compass. Security became your ceiling. And somewhere along the way, the whisper of your calling got drowned out by the hum of routine. Let me tell you something most people will never admit. The reason you feel restless isn't because something's wrong with your life. It's because something's right inside you that hasn't been released yet. There's a fire in you that comfort can't satisfy. There's a design in you that safety can't fulfill. And every time you choose what's familiar over what's frightening, you bury that design a little deeper. You were never meant to arrive at comfort. You were meant to pass through it. But instead, you moved in, you decorated it, you defended it. And now you're wondering why your soul feels suffocated, why success feels empty, why even your wins leave you hollow. Because comfort was never the destination. It was the test. And you failed it by staying. I've watched people waste entire decades in jobs that paid well but poisoned them slowly. I've seen marriages that were peaceful but passionless. Friendships that were convenient but shallow. Lives that were stable but silent. And the saddest part, most of them knew. Deep down, they knew. They felt the tug. They heard the call. But the cost of answering seemed too high, so they turned the volume down and called it wisdom. That's not wisdom. That's surrender. Wisdom knows when to rest. Surrender mistakes rest for residence. You've been confusing the two. And it's costing you everything you were created to become. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you did something that scared you? Not something reckless. Something that required you to grow. Something that demanded you become more than you currently are. When was the last time you took a step that had no safety net? When did you last choose the uncertain road because it was the right road? If you can't remember, then you've been living in comfort too long. And comfort is a silent killer. It doesn't attack you. It just quietly replaces your dreams with distractions. It substitutes vision with routine. It makes you believe that because you're not struggling, you must be succeeding. But there's a difference between surviving and thriving. There's a difference between existing and living. And comfort keeps you so numb you can't tell the gap anymore. You feel it though. Late at night when the noise stops. When you're alone with your thoughts. When you scroll through your life and realize you're watching it instead of building it, you feel the ache, the hunger, the knowing that you're capable of more, but you've traded it for ease. That ache, that's not depression, that's your calling knocking. And it's getting louder because time is getting shorter. Every year you spend in the wrong place is a year your purpose goes unfulfilled. Every season you waste in comfort is a season someone else needed what's locked inside you. There are people waiting on the other side of your obedience. There are solutions trapped inside your silence. There are doors that won't open until you move, but you're stuck. Not because you don't know what to do, but because you're afraid of what it will cost. Let me tell you what it costs to stay. It costs you your peace. It costs you your power. It costs you the respect you have for yourself when you look in the mirror. It costs you the legacy you could have left. It costs you the life you were born to live. Comfort doesn't preserve you. It buries you. And the longer you stay buried, the harder it becomes to dig yourself out. I want you to think about a seed. When a seed is planted, it's placed in darkness. It's covered. It's pressed down. And if that seed could speak, it would probably say, this isn't what I signed up for. I was meant for sunlight. I was meant for open air. Why am I trapped in dirt? But here's the truth. The seed isn't trapped. It's positioned. The darkness isn't punishment. It's preparation. The pressure isn't trying to kill it. It's trying to break it open so something greater can emerge. You are that seed. And the discomfort you're feeling right now, that's not a sign you're in the wrong place. That's a sign you're about to break through. But you have to let the shell crack. You have to allow the old version of you to die so the new one can grow. And that process is uncomfortable. It's supposed to be, growth always is. The problem is we've been taught that discomfort means danger. So we run from it, we medicate it, we numb it with entertainment, food, scrolling, shopping, anything to avoid feeling the tension. But tension is where transformation happens. A muscle only grows when it's stressed. A diamond only forms under pressure. A blade only gets sharp through friction. And you only become who you're meant to be when you stop avoiding the heat and start leaning into it. That job you're afraid to quit, the one that pays well but drains your soul, that's your comfort zone talking. That relationship you're holding on to, even though it's going nowhere, that's fear disguised as loyalty. That dream you keep putting off until the timing is perfect. Perfect timing doesn't exist. You're just waiting for permission you'll never get, because nobody's coming to rescue you from your own choices. You have to rescue yourself. And rescue always requires risk. I knew a man once, brilliant mind, incredible talent, worked in a field he hated because it made his family proud. Decades went by. He climbed the ladder, got the promotions, made the money, built the reputation. And then one day, he collapsed, not physically, emotionally, spiritually. He looked at his life and realized he'd spent 50 years building someone else's dream while his own died of neglect. He came to me broken, not because he failed, but because he succeeded at the wrong thing. That's the trap comfort sets. It convinces you that because you're winning, you must be on the right path. But winning the wrong race is still losing. You can be successful and still be off course. You can be applauded and still be unfulfilled. You can have everything the world says you should want and still feel empty because you're not doing what your soul was designed to do. And here's what most people miss. Your calling isn't just about you. It's about the people your obedience will impact. It's about the lives your courage will change. It's about the chain reaction your yes will set in motion. Every time you say no to your calling, you're saying no to someone else's breakthrough. Think about that. Somebody's healing is connected to your obedience. Somebody's hope is tied to your courage. Somebody's future is waiting on you to step into yours, but you're comfortable. So they stay stuck. Before I continue, answer one question honestly. If you died today, would the life you live match the life you were created for? Or would there be a gap between who you became and who you were meant to be? Sit with that, because the answer reveals everything. If you're still listening, something inside you is waking up. That restlessness you've been trying to silence, that's not anxiety, that's assignment. That's your spirit, recognizing that you're out of alignment. And it won't stop pulling until you respond. So what do? You start by admitting the truth. Comfort has become your cage. Safety has become your prison. And the key to freedom is on the other side of the very thing you've been avoiding. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a first step. And that first step is always the same. It's surrender. Not surrender to fear. Surrender to faith. Surrender to the knowing that you were made for more than this. You grow in silence. You heal in silence. You rise in silence. Nobody sees the seed breaking underground. Nobody hears the blade being sharpened in the workshop. Nobody witnesses the lion cub learning to hunt in the tall grass. But the growth is happening. The preparation is real. And when the moment comes, what was hidden becomes undeniable. Stop performing for people who can't see your process. Stop explaining yourself to those who don't understand your pace. Stop waiting for applause before you move. Your calling doesn't need an audience. It needs obedience. And obedience always looks crazy before it looks clear. Noah built an ark with no rain. Abraham left his home with no map. Moses led a nation with a speech impediment. David fought a giant with a sling. Esther risked her life for a people. None of it made sense. All of it required faith. And every single one of them had to leave comfort to step into calling. You think you're the exception? You think your calling will come with certainty, clarity, and convenience? No. It will come with a choice. And that choice will cost you everything you're clinging to. But here's what you'll gain. Purpose, peace, power. The kind of life where you wake up knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. The kind of legacy where people don't just remember your name. They remember what your life made possible. That's worth the discomfort. Let me tell you about a craftsman. He takes a blade that's dull, useless, forgotten, and he places it against the grinding stone. Sparks fly. Metal scrapes. The process is loud. Violent even. And if that blade could feel, it would scream. But the craftsman doesn't stop because he knows something the blade doesn't. This friction isn't destruction. It's refinement. And when he's done, that blade can cut through anything. You are that blade. And the friction you're experiencing, that's not God punishing you. That's God preparing you. That's life sharpening you for what's ahead. But you have to stay on the stone. You have to endure the fire. You have to let the pressure do its work. Because on the other side of this, you won't just survive. You'll cut through every obstacle that tried to stop you. But you have to stop running from the process. I've seen too many people quit right before the breakthrough. They were so close. The soil was about to give way. The stone was almost done grinding. The fire was about to reveal the gold. But they gave up. They went back to comfort. They chose ease over emergence. And they'll spend the rest of their lives wondering what could have been. Don't be that person. You've come too far. You've endured too much. You've survived too many nights of doubt to turn back now. The call is still there. The purpose is still waiting. The life you were meant to live is still possible. But it requires a decision. And that decision is simple. Will you stay comfortable or will you step into calling? You can't have both. Comfort whispers, stay here where it's safe. Calling shouts, come here where you'll come alive. Comfort promises security. Calling promises significance. Comfort protects what you have. Calling releases what you carry. One keeps you small. The other makes you unstoppable. And the world doesn't need more comfortable people. It's full of them. Sitting in jobs they tolerate, living in routines they resent, watching life happen instead of making it happen. The world needs people who heard the call and answered. People who chose the narrow road because it led somewhere worth going. People who were willing to be uncomfortable for a season so they could be unforgettable for a lifetime. That's you, if you choose it. But it starts now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when the conditions are perfect. Now, because every moment you wait, the gap widens. Every day you delay, the call gets quieter. And there's coming a time when the door closes, the season shifts, and the opportunity passes. And you don't get it back. So move. Even if your knees shake, even if your voice cracks, even if people don't understand, move anyway. Take the step. Make the call. Write the letter. Start the business. End the relationship. Book the flight. Say the yes. Say the no. Do the thing that terrifies you because it's the right thing. And watch what happens. Watch how the universe responds to obedience. Watch how doors open that you didn't even knock on. Watch how people appear that you didn't even pray for. Watch how provision shows up right when you need it. Because when you align with your calling, everything else aligns with you. But you have to go first. You have to be the one who breaks the pattern. You have to be the one who risks the comfort for the call. And yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, there will be nights you question everything. Yes, there will be moments you want to go back, but those moments don't define you. Your decision to keep going does. You were not created to live a mediocre life. You were not designed to settle. You were not born to play it safe. You carry something the world has never seen before. A perspective, a solution, a voice, a gift. And it's trapped inside your comfort zone. Break out. Break free. Break open. Let the old you die so the real you can live. Because on the other side of your fear is the life you've been dreaming about. On the other side of your obedience is the impact you were created to make. On the other side of your discomfort is the version of you that's been waiting to emerge. That version is calling you. Can you hear it? It's saying, come, step out, trust me. We have work to do. And that work can't wait any longer. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for confidence. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start now. Start messy. Start afraid. But start. Because your comfort is blocking your calling. And the moment you let go of one, you'll finally grab hold of the other. And when you do, everything changes. Not just for you, for everyone connected to your assignment. This is your moment. Don't waste it staying where you've already been. Step into where you're supposed to go. The world is waiting. Your calling is calling. Answer it. If this message spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you want more messages that grow your soul, subscribe because your journey has just begun.